And today we have to study cross product of vectors or vector product of vectors. Cross product of vectors is that product of vectors in which the result obtained is also a vector quantity. Now, as you know that whenever we are talking about a vector, it has got two very important parameters or two very important components. One is the magnitude, other is the direction. So when we are talking about the dot product, we are obtaining the result as the scalar quantity. In cross product, A cross B is equal to AP sine theta neta, where AP sine theta is the magnitude of the vector that is obtained by multiplying the two vectors, and neta is the direction of the vector that's obtained by multiplying the two vectors. Now, A is the magnitude of A, B is the magnitude of B, theta is the angle between two vectors. AB sine theta is the magnitude of A cross B, and the magnitude of A cross B is written as this. Neta is a unit vector along a direction perpendicular to both A and B. Now, this is the thing which I need to explain. Suppose you have a vector A which is along this direction, and you have a vector B which is along this direction. Then the direction of neta can be obtained by right hand thumb rule. You move your hand from A to B as follows, like this. The direction of the thumb is the direction of the neta. So neta is in this direction. So A cross B and B cross A, they will have the same magnitude, but their direction will be opposite. That's why we can say that A cross B and B cross A are negative vectors. So similarly, we will have the case with I cross J and J cross I. They will be also negative vectors, which I will explain in the minute. A is equal to AXI plus AYJ plus AZK. B is equal to BXI plus BYJ plus BZK. Now I have to multiply these two vectors in terms of components. I have to multiply these two vectors in terms of the components. How I will do that? Before doing that, I need to know what is the value of I cross I, J cross J, K cross K, I cross J, J cross K, and so on and so forth. Now I cross I, it will be equal to the magnitude of I into magnitude of I into sine of the angle between I and I. The angle between I and I is 0, sine I is 0, so I cross I will be 0. Similarly, J cross J will be also 0, K cross K will be also 0. Now we will go into the products of J cross I or I cross J. Now what will be I cross J? I cross J will be the magnitude of I will be 1, magnitude of J will be 1, and sine of the angle between I and J, that is 90 degrees. Sine 90 is 1, and it will be neta. Neta is a unit vector perpendicular to the plane containing I and J. Now see, I means along x-axis, J means along y-axis. I cross J, move your hand from I to J. So it is along z-axis, that is K. So I cross J is equal to K. By the concept that I just told you a minute ago, that A cross B and B cross A are negative vectors. So if I cross J is K, then J cross I will be minus K. J cross K will be I. How J cross K will be I? Now see, this is J along y-axis, this is K along z-axis. So J cross K, if you move your hand from J to K, that is going towards I. So J cross K is I. So K cross J will be minus I because they are negative vectors. K cross I is J and I cross K is minus J. How K cross I is J? Now see, this is K and this is J. This is K along y-axis, and then we have to do I. K cross I, and I is along x-axis. K cross I. Move your hand from K, from z-axis to x-axis. It will be towards the y-axis, that is K cross I is equal to J. Similarly, I cross K will be minus K because they are negative vectors. Now A cross B. When we are multiplying the two vectors in terms of the cross product, then we will have to multiply these components. AXI cross BXI plus BYJ and so on and so forth. There is an easy way of doing that. How is that? We write it in the form of a determinant. IJK AX AY AZ BX BY BZ. Then we write plus minus plus. We write I into. We just delete these terms, so these terms in the row, in the corresponding row and the column. Then we have got these four terms. We multiply them like this: ay bz minus az by, I into ay bz minus az by. Then minus j, we delete this row and column. We get ax bz minus az bx, minus j into ax bz minus az bx. Then plus k, we delete this thing and this thing, plus k into ax by minus ay bx. Now, since we know that a cross b is equal to ab sin theta neta, so a cross b is equal to magnitude of a cross b into neta, because ab sin theta is equal to neta. Ab sin theta is equal to, sorry, magnitude of a cross b. Now, neta will be equal to the a cross b divided by magnitude of a cross b. Therefore, if we want to find a unit vector perpendicular to the plane containing a cross b, we have to find neta. And how can neta be found? Neta can be found by dividing the cross product of a cross b divided by the magnitude of a cross b. How we will obtain the cross product of a and b? That is by this thing, this determinant thing. And how can we find it as magnitude? By the thing, by the formula that we used to use before we studied other concepts, that is root of x component square plus y component square plus z component square. So neta is equal to a cross b divided by magnitude of a cross b. That's how we can find a unit vector perpendicular to the plane containing a and b, and that's how the cross product of two vectors can be done. That's all.